Hello there, and you're very welcome to another Irish Voices, Conversations with the Irish Diaspora. I'm Donald McCone. On the programme today, we're in San Jose. We visit the Raising of the Flags and the Spirit of Ireland Award, as organised by the San Jose Dublin Sister Cities organisation. We're in Colma, where we are taking part in the Fr Peter Yorke Day, which happens on a yearly basis at the cemetery. And we also hear about an exhibition that's on the streets of Ireland from the people of the streets of Ireland and brought to San Francisco by Annie Holland. It's currently showing at the United Irish Cultural Centre. But we begin with our visit to San Jose.
A national founding signature in 1956, the City of San Jose is a member of the Northern California chapter of Sister Cities International, comprised of over 600 U.S. cities with over 2,000 sister city relationships in 136 countries on 6 continents. In fact, I have the distinct honor of leading the delegation to Dublin next month to the All-Ireland Sister City Summit, co-hosted by Dublin and the City of San Jose.
Humanity Vacharja, welcome all. I don't have much to add to what your Vice Mayor said, expressed so well. I am very conscious, as was she, that as we raise a flag here today, that my national flag back home is flying at half-mast, and all the masts of all the cities and countries in the European Union are flying at half-mast. And like she said, I mean, if you wonder why what you do is valuable, and why what you do is important, think of events like that. Think of similar situations which we have seen all too often in our world in recent times, and think how much good you are doing by bringing people together and sharing stories and sharing relationships and acting as a barrier against those people of evil who would like to tear down those relationships and those friendships across our continent and between our continent and yours. I want to say a few particular words of thanks this morning. What does San Jose, Dublin, 30 years on, mean to us, and what have we learned from yourselves? I mean, one of the most important things, and again it harks back to the tragic events we've seen in Belgium today. When Dublin sister citied with San Jose, it wasn't a very mixed city. It was very homogeneous, it was mostly Irish. In the last 30 years, as Ireland has benefited from the close economic connections which it has made with this part of the world, as the tech companies have set up their headquarters in Ireland, our city has changed. It's become much more diverse, it's become much more mixed ethnically. There's very few nationalities in Europe that certainly aren't represented in Dublin, and now much wider. We've communities from Africa, from Asia, from South America. One of the things I find extraordinary when I go over is how many Brazilians now live and work in Dublin. And one of the things we learned from yourselves is how do you make that a richness and a diversity that's shared and grows your society together and makes you stronger from within. And I think that is something, particularly as we commemorate the events in the last 100 years moving forward from 1916, is something we're very grateful to yourselves for, and for that close connection. And I know it's going to be a theme that's elaborated on when you go over to Dublin in only a few weeks' time. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing that experience with us and helping us develop those close links of different communities within a city that makes San Jose such an important city here in America. I want to say a special thank you to the community here for the support that they gave us back in June through to October when we had 4 of the Berkeley survivors in the rehabilitation centre in Santa Clara Valley Medical Centre. You were fantastic. I cannot thank you enough. You helped us find accommodation for the students' families, you transported them from A to B, and you volunteered to call in and see them and keep them company. It made a huge difference to those families. It was an immense support at that time, and again I want to say thank you very, very deeply for that. I also want to pay particular thanks to the City Council, to the Mayor, to the Vice Mayor for the welcome that they gave President Higgins when he made his visit here last October. So I think from the perspective of today, despite the tragic events, we can take great pride in the strength of the relationship between San Jose and Dublin. It is a model, like you said. When I look at the other sister city relationships that I have on the West Coast, very few of them are as strong and as vigorous as the one that you have engendered with Dublin, and I know with your other sister cities as well. We share a twin in Guadalajara, so we've got a little triumvirate going on there. So just to say, I thought Irish Week was over, but I was wrong. March is an Irish month. April, because of the events of 2016, will also be an Irish month. So to thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart, and to wish you all well when you go to Ireland in a few weeks' time and for the year ahead. Thank you.
I'd like to ask everyone to please stand. And the Stewart, Tartan, Pipers and Drum Ensemble will lead the color guard forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Ireland.
We've had a flag raising ceremony here whereby we raised the flags of Ireland and the US and also raised the flags of Dublin and San Jose, of course our twin cities. This is our 30th year of the relationship, 30th year of the San Jose Dublin Sister City program.
And you've been involved in this for quite a while.
Probably about 4 years now, 4 years. And taking on the role of president this year. I've had other responsibilities in past years. My primary responsibility was the driving of the Master's Level Scholarship Exchange Program, whereby we bring a student from Dublin City University and get them to a master's level program here in San Jose State. We pay for it, we fundraise for it, and we have a relationship with Cyprus Semiconductor whereby Cyprus take that student in and give them an internship essentially, and help them get their masters, and they do exams at the end of the year, and they become masters level scholars. So it's a great program. It costs us a lot of money, a lot of work to actually do the fundraising, and that's our primary focus, has been for the last 3 or 4 years.
It's very strong. It's probably one of the strongest sister city relationships that I have in the Bay Area. San Francisco is twinned with Cork, Galway is twinned with Menlo, Listowel is twinned with Los Gatos, Limerick recently twinned with Santa Clara. So it's almost like I have Ireland mapping around me in the Bay Area. It's quite wonderful. This one is kind of like the anchor, and Dublin and San Jose have a lot of similarities. I mean, San Jose sits the south end of the Silicon Valley. You have a lot of the big companies that are present in Ireland are present in here in San Jose area. You have Intel, you have Oracle, you have just up the road you have Google and Facebook. So there's a lot of things that make the relationship between San Jose and Ireland very strong.
Member of the San Jose Dublin Committee for the last 20 years and have always been active in helping in various events and made several trips to Ireland. I've been to Ireland 8 times, and it's been just a real joyous experience working with this program. Well, I am a teacher, a former teacher, an educator, and then I became a San Jose City Council member in 1993. And served on the San Jose City Council for 8 years. I'm very much a member of the community and was certainly looking to build community. I have done that with the Sister City Group. My ideas today that I'm going to share with everybody are, again, building relationships, which is very important. We've built many of them over the years, and this is just one more continuation of that.
Scholarship is mostly just a huge opportunity for me. I do a 9-month internship with Cyprus Semiconductor as part of a master's degree, so it means that I get industry experience as well as a master's degree, which I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. And having done a degree in physics, I might not necessarily have been very employable with no experience in electronic engineering, and so this is a great opportunity for me to go forward with that.
What has the work been like since you've done it?
It's been a bit challenging. Again, not having an engineering background, but it's been really interesting. And my classes are good as well. I'm doing wireless communications. I'm working in kind of the Internet of Things scope within Cyprus. And it's a big learning curve, but I'm really looking forward to the outcome.
And a big thank you to the San Jose Dublin Sister Cities Committee for their invitation to attend. We're off to Colma now for the Fr Peter Yorke Day.
He broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and eat of it, for this is my body, which will be given up for you."
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for attending the 91st Annual Father Peter Yorke Memorial. With that, again, I'd just like to thank everybody for attending this morning, and we're going to go ahead and have the wreath placed on the grave of Father Peter Yorke. We'll place his picture there.
Thank you all for attending this memorial for Father Yorke. And I would think most of you probably have the words of Warrior Priest memorized, since I've been doing it here for about 40 years. But if not, or if you do, join in with it. O priest with the heart of a warrior bold, rest now, for the battle is ended. No more will thy voice move our hosts as of old, no more the just cause undefended. Find thee as a champion, valorous, brave, undaunted by peril or danger, with strong arm to strike at the dastard or knave, or to shelter the homeless and stranger. No more at the altar with uplifted arms, in royal Melchizedek's line, enraptured with love and with joy will you stand to offer the water and wine. No more when the shadows of even are near, O Sagoth so gentle and mild, will you gather the children around you to hear of the Christ who was born as a child. O strongest and kindliest and gentlest soul, may Mary's blue mantle fold o'er thee. May thy journey be brief to its heavenly goals, where Aaron's sweet saints are before thee. God grant that our memory live with him still, in joy and sorrow, till we meet on Zion's eternal glad hill, with the just in the golden tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's interesting to me that Father Yorke's people were immigrants to Ireland, right? So they're from Holland, so they're immigrants, and then they're in Ireland, and then he immigrates here. So it would be interesting to know if that family history led him to be more open, to be of help to others, and not look at life in a narrow fashion. But I know he came here and he became a Catholic priest in the diocese and did the things that Catholic priests do, but he rocked the boat. And so the fact that first of all, he emigrated, and then he made his way across the United States to San Francisco, and then he made a stand here. And I'm always marveled at the fact that, even in the priesthood, people can put their own career advancement ahead of other issues. But he took risks. He advocated for the freedom of Ireland when that was a somewhat dangerous proposition still to talk about. He advocated for Catholic civil rights, and he also advocated for the labor movement.
I remember him talking about Father Yorke coming over to the house and playing with him. And Father Yorke died in 1925. My dad would be 8 years old, so he knew him in his younger years.
One of my favorite stories, and I don't remember all the exact details, but was the 1906 earthquake, and there was a lot of injured people, and they needed cots, they needed help at, I don't know if it was down at City Hall that they were doing like a makeshift hospital, and I think Peter Yorke was the type of person that would never take no for an answer. He would push beyond the limits, and so he's demanded there needs to be, I don't know if it was like 100 cots or something, brought to City Hall now for all these injured people. So I always thought that was kind of a neat story because it was part of history that I always heard about.
My great-grandfather, Theodore Davy, lost his wife and then he died. He left 6 children. All 6 Davy children were then sent to San Francisco, and Peter Yorke helped raise them. few generations go by, I lost my mother, but my father raised all 6 kids. So I kind of see history repeating itself. And I'm one of those children in British Columbia that had to come down to San Francisco because in its own way that was my life. I mean, I lost my mother and we were raised by the church in so many ways. And he must have been a Catholic priest raising 6 little brats. What an amazing man.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Our final piece on the programme today features Annie Holland. She's an artist based in Laois and for recent months has been working in the city of Dublin, getting the thoughts of those people from the city about 1916 and what it means about Irish identity.
They all keep asking the same question, so maybe I'll just give a little talk to everyone. Oh, that'd be great. So it's more like this.
I know some of you were here a couple of years ago when she was out and she did a completely different art exhibit. It was more on using traditional themes but in a modern way, and that was wonderful. I have 3 of them in my, I had them framed and they're in my front room right now and everyone loves them. So I was so thrilled when Annie presented this proposal to come out again with her art all the way from Laois.
All the way from Dublin.
Oh, Dublin even.
Dublin.
Okay, that's even 50
More
miles
exotic,
further
yeah.
or whatever. And I don't know. I think I'll turn it over to you.
So it's a poster campaign that's currently on the streets of Dublin at the moment. So I realised that Valerie had this space, and I thought, oh, I'll bring it just a little bit of this from Dublin to San Francisco, and I'll get a holiday. So, because Ireland is awash with 1916 commemorations at the moment, because we really get to celebrate. We can't really celebrate the War of Independence because it divided the country so much. You know, families are divided by the outcome of that. But we really can celebrate this. I'm Annie Holland, and I'm here with Fenúlacht, this exhibition that you see behind, which is like a photo montage project from the residents of inner city Dublin, and it's a response to the 1916 Rising.
And what does Fenúlacht mean?
Fenúlacht means identity. Yeah, it's the Irish word for identity.
And what has been your inspiration for all of this?
Well, it started off as an exploration of the 1916 Rising, and it was an art project mixed with a history exploration. And through doing monoprints of photographs and stuff, we sat down and we had conversations about, you know, the 1916 Rising, its participants, and the outcome. And identity is the most important part of this project, because without the efforts of the 16 men and the subsequent casualties of the 1960s Rising, we wouldn't have an Irish identity. So I asked these people what it meant for them to be Irish, and you'll see behind some of the responses. And yeah, it's about celebrating our identity. In Ireland this year, we have huge celebrations right across the country, and people are recognising it, understanding it a bit better, and celebrating it.
And what were the young people within the project saying about it all?
Well, for them it was a historical learning process, and then they were like, yeah, whatever, I'm just Irish. But then they got the chance to voice what it meant for them to be Irish. Like 100 years later, what does it mean for young people now? And yeah, I think they enjoyed the process, so we'll see.
You're in San Francisco, the project is here. What are people making of it here?
They're curious. They're enjoying the learning aspect, you know, sort of like even using an Irish word for identity. You know, people are aware that you have a language of your own, and I hope for them it's you know, going back to their identity and making them question about what it is to be a United States citizen. You know. Here, the kids have traced in all the names of the women and the civilian casualties, most of which were women and children. And then also as well, we've done monoprints of particular strategic battle sites. So we walked the streets. We had a kind of a 3D history lesson, you know. So they just came back and drew prints from that and stuff. So also inside you'll see messages, you know, of what each person's response to the question of what does your identity mean to you. This one here, I have Irish pride in my heart. This kid here said, we are fair. We have freedom of speech. Then we have some other that aren't so positive, like what did the people of 1916 give their lives for? The leaders of this country have robbed us for our own gain. So that could be kind of a worldwide take on how our governments are serving us, you know? It's not all positive, but for the most part, we appreciate what we have. You know, we're not doing too bad, but we need to keep pushing those in power because they're not delivering the ideals of these 16 men who've given their lives for us to be a nation, you know?
It's in San Francisco today. Where will it be in the coming days and weeks?
At the moment, it's on the streets of Dublin. It's a poster campaign. So the whole idea of the kids that I work with, if it was to go into a gallery, it would serve no purpose. They will never visit a gallery. If it's on the streets, the people will see it and can engage with it in their own way, you know?
Will this be the only Irish opportunity, the only opportunity in California for people to see?
Yes. Yeah, currently, you know, unless someone wants to put it up in the streets. He's this one here. So if you were to zoom in on this guy, he's very negative. If you were to contrast him with the super positive one, like this one, look, we are friendly and a bit of crack, and then classist, gender equality, exclusion, and authoritarian, you know, so I kind of like it.
It's that variety of experience and that makes it kind of artistic and
well, no, that's the kind of response. That's the kind of socialist part of it, but it's their piece. I just facilitated it.
And that's it for the programme today. Thank you to all our contributors, and thank you for your listening ear and your watching eye. I'm Donald McKeown. Hope to see you in another Irish Voices in the next week.